Hello everybody, this is David here for Stardate 90.03. I'm sorry I wasn't here last week, but I was actually really sick, like Dylan mentioned. And I just didn't think that making a video would have been in my best interest at the time. So yeah, to make up for that, I'm going to answer the question that Brett answered yesterday, too, along with the question for you today. Mainly because I'm pretty interested in that too, so let's have at it. What instruments do I know to play? Two off the top of my head. Piano, only by ear though. I couldn't tell you if it's an A, a D minor, and I can't tell you any of the notes. And the drums, specifically drum set, but I can do other kinds of percussion like snare, bass drum, timpani, all that fun stuff. First question for me was, what albums are coming out soon that I'm interested in? I'll talk about the one she mentioned, Linkin Park, because that's an interesting topic for me. I used to be a huge fan of Linkin Park. Hybrid Theory, Meteor, I'd buy it all without question. They could not do wrong, but then they did do wrong. And that was with Minutes to Midnight. Looking back on it now, I really like a couple of the songs on it, but it was such a departure from their sound that at first I couldn't stand it. And then A Thousand Suns came out, and I just don't I don't know what to say about that one. There's maybe one or two songs I actually like on that album, at least through the last time I listened to it. But I might have to go back and check it out again. You never know what happens over time. But their new album, it's interesting. It's like, from what I've heard, I've heard a few songs on it so far, and it sounds better than A Thousand Suns, but it's still not as good as the first couple of albums. And that's sort of sad, but however, they said there were a few songs on it that were kind of throwbacks to the older albums, at least from what I've heard. I might be wrong. And if there are, I'll definitely buy it first day, because I love classic Linkin Park. So yeah, I've got a list here of albums that are coming out soon that I'm interested in, but first I'm going to go over a bigger list actually, of albums that have come out already this year that really were quite good and I would recommend checking out. So let's get right into it. The big one on the list, Van Halen, obviously, Different Kind of Truth. The big comeback album of the year with Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth finally making a new album together. They did a lot of press for it, but they chose a horrible single and Tattoo, which is an okay song, but it's not the best they could have did. But they did wonderful press for it. They're all sober, they're all playing great together, and the album sounds really nice, even if they did reuse some song ideas, but I don't mind that. A lot of bands do it. Next on the list, Flying Colours, self-titled album. A couple of the members in the band, Mike Portnoy, Neil Morris, Steve Morris of Deep Purple. Well, just a lot of really great musicians in it. It's proggy, pop, rock type stuff. It's really down-to-earth, accessible music. They only have a couple tour dates in the US this year, but I would recommend checking them out, either in LA, I believe it's at in California, or over in New York. I forget where it's at in New York. Next on the list, Adrenaline Mob, their release on Merita. Excuse me. I don't even know what came over me. But that album, that is interesting. It has Mike Portnoy on drums, Russell Allen, guitar player, I can't remember his name, really wanky guitar player. He's really technical, but the style is weird. From what I understand, they're more of a live band than a studio band, because he looks into the song, it sounds like a more technical Disturbed. I'll just put it out just like that. And that's not bad, but they just sound a ton better live. Just the energy, the feel, it's better to see them live than to pick up the album, to be honest. Tenacious D, Rise of the Phoenix, that just came out not too long ago, and it sounds great. My main issue with it, it's not as funny as the other albums. It's more music-based, which isn't bad, but Tenacious D was more of a comedy acoustic act, not a a technical music group. A lot of the music's not that technical, but you get my picture. Next, Dragon Force, The Power Within. This is an interesting album because it was their first album without the original lead singer, who would quit the band after. Where is it? I've got it over. Oh, Ultra Beatdown. Yeah. And after he quit after Ultra Beatdown, they had this big contest audition thing where they had anyone they wanted that wanted to audition for the lead singer role just had to upload a video on YouTube, and singing a couple of Dragon Force songs. And the guy that ended up winning it, he sounds a lot better. He can actually sing the songs live in the correct tuning, something the original singer could not do. And the album sounds like normal Dragon Force, just with a new singer. But he can sing higher. He sounds better live, and he doesn't get wasted while he's live, which is something the other singer couldn't really say. At least from what I understand. Last one on the list for albums that are already out, OSI's Fire Make Thunder. This is an interesting album. It features, the main brain behind it is Kevin Moore, and you might know him from Dream Theater. He was their original keyboard player. And this album, it follows up on their album Blood, which came out a couple of years ago, and they're a great band. I absolutely love OSI. They are obviously a studio band. Well, if you didn't know, it wouldn't be obvious, but they never play live, mainly because I don't even know why they don't want to play live. Just the elements haven't been in the right place, but apparently Metal Blade's trying to get them to do some dates, so hopefully that'll happen. But it is a great album. Definitely check it out. Check it out if you are into some just really great rock. Okay, I only have a couple albums there that are coming out because most of the albums I was interested in came out already this year. First one, I'm going to list these as they come out. Rush's Clockwork Angels, that comes out next Tuesday, at least I think it's Tuesday, on June 12th. This album is the follow-up to Snakes and Arrows, which is a fantastic Rush album. However, this new album, it's a callback to early Rush, I think, like Fly By Night type, just guitar-driven, just really, it's simplified Rush, and I've been waiting for that for a very long time because they've been doing some interesting ideas, but I just wanted another album of them just rocking, and they delivered. A lot of people want like 2112 or Hemisphere or something, but Getty can't sing like that anymore. So I'm glad that they went this way to do it. I've heard a few songs from it. I heard Caravan, was it B2UB? I think it is, something like that. And Headlong Flight. Those are all great songs. I like them. Definitely check the album out next week if you're into Rush at all. They're just a great band. See them live too, as you never know how long they're gonna be around since they're getting pretty up there in age. Next, Steve Vai, The Story of Light, comes out August 14th. I heard one song from it this morning, and it sounds really good. Not like normal Steve Vai, where it's like really, how do I word this? A lot of his songs that he's known for are very soft and well-placed notes, and this is a little more down-to-earth type stuff that I think a lot of people can get into. I didn't think that was Steve Vai playing at first. It just didn't sound like his style, but it sounds great. And I can't wait for the album to drop into stores in a few months. Next two albums I'm going to mention don't have a release date because they're not done being recorded yet or haven't been started yet. Main one, Black Sabbath. With all the turmoil with Bill Ward not being in the group, I am still excited for the album, which has Tony Iommi, Ozzy, Geezer. It has most of the band. It's not full original lineup, but it's better than nothing, I think. And I can't wait for that to drop. If you're in the US and you want to see Sabbath, the only time you're going to get to see them as of right now is at Lollapalooza in a few months. So definitely check them out there if you want to see Sabbath. At least almost original. Because who knows what's going to happen afterwards with Tony Iommi with his cancer and all that. So definitely if you haven't seen them yet, go for it. I wish I could be there, but I can't afford it because I got to save for Youmacon. But definitely check them out if you haven't. It's gonna be a great experience. Okay, last album, Rising West. This is a group consisting of 4 of the 5 members of the band Queensryche. If you're not aware of what's happening with Queensryche right now, there's a ton of drama going on. Both off stage, on stage, well not really on stage even, and on their Facebook page. Though you could just go into any of the normal metal news sites and you'll be able to find that out really quick what happened. But basically what Rising West is, it's, like I said, it's 4 of the 5 members of Queensryche. It's everyone in the band right now except for Jeff Tate, the singer. They got the singer from Crimson Glory, who basically sounds like Jeff Tate from the mid-'80s. Well, I'm iffy on his voice. He can hit the notes, but his voice isn't as pleasant sounding, if you understand what I'm meaning. And they have 2 shows they're doing this weekend, Friday and Saturday, I believe. It's in Seattle at the Hard Rock Cafe, I believe. And they're just playing old classic Queensryche material from the first 5 albums. That means the EP, Rage for Order, The Warning, Operation Mindcrime, and Empire. Which is great because Jeff Tate, for when he's playing with Queensryche, they can't do the songs justice. Well, at least Jeff can't. If he's singing anything pre-Empire, it sounds like garbage. He can't do justice to the songs live anymore, and that's really sad considering how iconic his voice was on those songs, but there's nothing to it, I guess. So they're going to be doing a few shows later this week, and they're also going to be recording an album of original material later in the year. And that's all I've got for my list. I'm sorry if this video is excessively long. I have no idea how long this is run, but if you enjoyed it, just leave a like or whatever. And my question for Kaio-chan is, what is your favorite genre of music? For me, that is a very tricky question because that changes very often. Like, I'll go on a splurge and listen to pretty much one genre exclusively or one band exclusively basically until it burns me out on them. And then I'll switch over to another one and hop around. Like sometimes it could be like dubstep or something. Then it could be metal. Then it could be rock, progressive metal. It bounces all over the place. So yeah, I look forward to hearing your answer tomorrow, and I will see you guys next week.